Hi everyone, welcome to Border Text with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, you're not, and this is my old mate husbox from PAW Clan. husbox, you might have just seen in the chat there, at the start of the game on this map in Melanovka, he's asked the Bulldog if he's going to scout middle, and of course the Bulldog actually indicated that he wasn't going to do that. He's going to go up towards the north. husbox doing the right thing, using his in-game chat, letting his team know. He said, I'll get this one, and that's exactly what he's doing on Melanovka. Spotting the middle. Now, this is how I got some of my missions for the T54, the third set of personal missions with the lights. But, of course, you can also do it in a Batchat. Batchat has a very good view range. He's imploring his team to start shooting. He can't move now. He knows enough to see that RU-251 will certainly spot him if he starts moving around. Definitely if he starts shooting, he'll certainly be in a little bit of trouble. Now, he's picked up nearly 700 assisted damage. This is exactly how I aced my Batchat. I'm not sure if it was on this map, but picks up some more spotting damage on the T30 there, just kicking back in this bush, spotting all these tanks. Now, all these tanks that have been spotted by husbox, and we'll see that in the end on the post-game battle results, with the possible exception, including the Spar Panzer 2. I reckon, is just kicking back here, holding his fire. Of course, if he starts shooting, he'll certainly get some damage in. He might even get a full clip off, but with no cover whatsoever, he's going to get blown away. It is indicating in the chat, yeah, go you good thing. Now, husbox, I was in a clan with husbox a number of years ago, POW it was, and even though he's a good player, good at the game, he's never takes himself too seriously, likes to have a good time while he's playing, and often comes up with some brilliant pearls of wisdom. He's helping his team by spotting all these tanks. They're up by 2, or up by 1 now. T34 went down to the E3. Probably sniped out, I'd say, because it looks like the E3 was last seen near the red flag. The score's 2-1. He's already picked up nearly 4,000 assisted damage by spotting for his team. The only thing lit at the moment's the T30. And keep one eye on the chat box. husbox does a great job in encouraging his teammates to start shooting. Picks up another 1134 assisted damage into that STG guard. That's that premium Russian medium tank that I've had so much trouble with lately. It feels like a really good tank. I just can't get the hang of it. husbox again indicating in the chat 5,000 SC spotting damage, or maybe he's saying sick. He's doing a good job keeping that T30 lit up as well. Just kicking back in this bush, looking around. 5,137 hit points of assisted damage into a lot of tanks, I might add. The T30, probably the E3, the IS3, the RU, and I think all 3 of those dead tanks, the STG, Scorpion G, and the WZ111, 1FT or 1GFT, that's the premium Chinese tank destroyer. Just turning around a little bit now. Looks like what's he thinking of doing? He's just backing up, just turns his tank around so that if he does get lit like he does, he can run. Of course, he does get spotted by the RU, puts a shot into the Tier 9 German light tank, doesn't take a reload just in case he has to shoot again. He's got 4 clips left. Looks like the Jag Tiger has popped out to try and have a dip at husbox. Of course, in a battle like this where there's only 3 Tier 10s in the game, the enemy team quite rightly should focus on a tank like the Batchat. The Batchat's very fast. We've got an absolutely fantastic gun. Sometimes the aim time's a little bit lacking in it. It does take a little bit to aim, but it's got that 5-shot auto loader with 105mm gun, 390 average damage, 259 pen with APCR, which is standard in the Batchat, like a lot of Tier 10 mediums. 330 with the heat rounds. You can see husbox has 5 heat rounds. Not loaded, but up his sleeve if he needs them. And I guess in this kind of lineup, you'd probably be saving him for the E3 or the E5, maybe the WZ111-4 at Tier 9. 3-2 the score now. The game's already been going for 5 minutes. Is 5,137 assisted damage. He's just kicking back in this bush. He does have a camouflage net, which is an unusual piece of equipment in my opinion for a Batchat, but let's be frank, statistics don't lie, and husbox is a much better player than I am. Like I said, always up for a good laugh, and often sends me a g'day in chat, especially if he sees me in a random. I'm not sure if he's playing on... I'm tipping by the ping he's playing on the Australian server in this game, going by the ping being under 20, and pretty sure he's in Australia somewhere. Husbox 3-4's the score at the moment though. The Bulldog just got taken out by the T54 Mod 1. Husbox trying to get some vision in the central part of the map, but lucky enough to still be on full health. He might need all of his hit points if those tanks start shooting his way. You can see on the mini-map a few tanks up the top, a few tanks down here in the east, and a lot of Husbox teammates content just to kick back over here and do a little bit of camping. The Conway down to 555 health. Can't see the Carnarvon's hit points, but his team are in a little bit of trouble here. Let's see what Husbox can do to try and carry this. 5,137 assisted damage, 407 damage done. That's one shot from his that shot into the RU not too long ago. Just looking around, looking for opportunistic shots into these tanks. He knows there's an E5 as well as the 121 last spotted up in the north. Two tier 10 tanks. That T110 E3 was last spotted camping at the base, but that was a while ago. He could have moved up towards the east, or he could still be there. You never know. Like I said, just 3 tier 10 tanks on each side. A Grill on Husbox's team. The Grill's had a good game so far with 2 kills. E100, who was contesting the hill. Looks like the E100's pulling back from the hill now. There's the RU251. Now he knows, before his sixth sense goes off, he knows he would have been spotted there, and that RU is just a one shot for Husbox. So he pops a shell into him, and that's possibly the last tank on the enemy team that is likely to do much spotting, bearing in mind there's no more lights on the enemy team. And there's also, well, there's 3 medium tanks. The 121 we know was last seen up at the top, and but there's the 121. Husbox puts a shell into the Chinese medium tank, puts another shell in, but it bounces. He's only got 1 shell left. He cleans up the 110 for his second kill. He is on the reload now though, but still using his vision to keep that T30 lit. He wants, hopefully that artillery will hit him. The artillery indicates that he is aiming for the T30. Husbox cops a couple of shots from the Panther 2, even though the Panther 2 is only at tier 8. It shouldn't have any problems at all penetrating the very low armour on the Batchat. Asking his teammates, come on, what are you doing? Why is that Panther still alive? Of course, from Husbox's angle, he's probably got shots on him. Once he loads, he might have shots on him, but now he's got a damaged gun. He needs to fix it, because at range, that Batchat gun is not too accurate at all. You can see he's got a mark of excellence on it. He certainly knows what he's doing as his clip reloads. He's now got 5 shells left, and he's still soaking up the assisted damage into that Jag Tiger for what looks like, I lost count, but I reckon it was well over 1,000 hit points. Just misses out on the kill shot on the Panther 2. Pulls back. He's only on 300, and now he's only on 222 hit points. I'd be considering popping a blind shot into where that Panther was last seen. That Panther clearly focusing on Husbox in his Batchat. He's got 2 shells left though. Down to 222 hit points. 2 kills, nearly 2,000 damage done. 9,178 assisted damage. He's pretty excited about that, and that's why he's putting it in the chat. The Carnarvon thinks it's pretty funny, as does the T54 from Anzac Clan, and they're saying, yeah, well done, man, in the chat. And Husbox likes to have a bit of fun with the game. Put a few encouraging words out there to encourage his team to do well. They're up by a tank again. 6-5 the score now. 2 kills, nearly 2,000 damage done. Husbox letting his team know, I'm in a bit of trouble here. I'm out here all by myself on 222 hit points. There is, looking at the minimap, a lot of tanks were spotted up here in the north, plus a couple here in the east, and tanks down the bottom. So he really, I don't know what he's going to do. The T30 is a danger tank from Husbox's point of view, I guess, as he spots the T110 E5 clearly not contesting the hill and going back to the start. Now Husbox has spotted that. No, I reckon the T55 might have spotted that T30. Husbox taking his opportunity here. He's got 2 bullets left. The first one misses. The second one goes through. T55 picks up the kill. Somehow he bounced the shot from the 5100, but unfortunately that's where his luck runs out. 2,327 hit points of damage. 9,178 assisted damage. You didn't want to certainly didn't want to die in that one. He certainly helped get rid of a lot of those tanks. Look, pretty much every tank that is no longer in the game was either spotted or killed by husbox. He killed 2 of them, and that 9,178 assisted damage. That's absolutely massive, and hopefully it's an ace tanker for him. I reckon he'd be pretty happy about that. The Grill having a good game. The Grill from Anzaf on 3 kills. The Carnarvon on 1. The T55 on 1. I think the T55 killed that 1-2-1 towards the end. Husbox just looking around here, hoping that his team can turn this into a win, because if he's going for his daily double or anything like that, it would turn into a pretty big game by experience. Husbox now looking at the other tanks that are still in this game. You can see the Charioteer there. He's certainly at tier 8, not going to be leading the charge. The E100 looks like he's going back up to the hill. The T55A on 1170 hit points, so he's only lost 600 or less than 600. T55A taking up where Husbox left off, trying to spot mid by using this little ridge line. He's got cover. He's got cover from the south with this mound of dirt just here. But he wants to spot some enemy tanks. The Grill and the Conway asking for help because the T125 and the T54 Mod 1 on the enemy team going towards them. The Conway goes down, bringing it back to 7 apiece. Only 3.5 minutes left on the time up. There's still 8 tanks on each team left. Bit of an even ball game. The Carnarvon advises the Grill to take care, because that Grill looks like he might be a little bit exposed, and that big German gun might be the one maybe to carry this game. Who knows? Husbox on nearly 10,000 assisted damage, 2,000 damage that he did, and 2 kills. And after this replay, there'll be another medium tank replay featuring the old mate Husbox. This time, the Russian Object 140, which I think the Object 140 might have either just got a little bit of a buff or about to be buffed. Looking at the E100, you stupid guy. Not a bad in-game name. The enemy team clearly having a little bit of trouble shooting the big tier 10 German heavy tank, and is just kicking back there, looking at those enemy tanks. T55A does the right thing, gets rid of the IS-3, takes another gun out of the game, even though it's only a tier 8. E100 takes the E3 for 600 hit points. That's the smaller gun on the E100, of course. The E100, one of the tier 10 tanks, which you've got 2 choices for your guns. You've got the big derp gun, which I think might be 150 or 152 millimeter, and of course that's got a longer reload, a higher alpha but less penetration. The smaller gun has I think it might even have more damage per minute, but smaller alpha and shorter reload. 9-7 the score now on Malinovka. The 2-minute siren goes off. You can see that T55A, he's trying to get the better of the E3. He's behind the E3. That E3 can certainly not hurt him, but somebody is shooting him from the back. I would say that would be the 5100 or the Panther 2. No, the Panther 2 has been spotted over here. Possibly the AMX 5100. The T55A, the second last of the personal reward tanks, being left on 41 hit points. I reckon it was the 5100, bearing in mind the Panther 2 and the T54 Mod 1, both currently spotted near the green flag. And the T55A looks like he might be going on a little bit of an arty run. The Scorpion goes down to enemy artillery. The T54 kills the T54 Mod 1, and he finds that AMX 5100. Did that go through? 1:10 left in this game. Husbox from POW clan hoping his team can turn this one into a bit of a win. So he pings down where he thinks the artillery might be. The T55A spots the artillery as the 1-minute siren goes off. Someone has a shot at the artillery. The Panther goes down on the other side of the map. There's one shot into the artillery. One more should be enough to the win, but they need to find that AMX 5100. Where can he be? That AMX 5100 last spotted down here, and the T55A, even though he's only on 41 hit points, he realises this. He realises he's the guy to find him. The artillery dangerously close to water, but he doesn't get to drown himself. The T55A does get spotted, and he'll be hoping that that AMX 5100 is on the reload. Let's see where the AMX 5100 might be. Artillery indicating that's where he's aiming for. That's an area where he's most likely to be. He was last spotted down there, and of course there he is on 700 hit points. The T54A shoots and misses with 10 seconds to go. Artillery hits him, takes him down to 449 hit points, 5 seconds to go. More than one guy are going to have to shoot him. The T54A goes down. It is an auto logo. The T54 shoots him, and the Carnarvon picks up the kill, and on the last second it turns into a win for husbox and his team on Malinovka in the Batchat. Let's have a look at the post-game result. Before I get the next battle ready, it is an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge for husbox from POW Clan. In the Batchat 25t, he's also got the Spotter Medal, Fire for Effect, Scout Medal, and Patrol Duty. And have a look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tanks spotted, and he got assisted damage on all of those tanks, as well as more, and picked up a couple of kills to top the score charts. 1250 base experience was enough for an ace in the Batchat 25t. 2,327 hit points of damage done. He only fired 10 shots, 8 penned, 8 hit, 7 penned, 9,178 assisted damage. That's why he picked up the ace, and that's another reason why it was such a profitable game. 54 and a bit thousand credits with a premium account in that game that went right down to the wire on Malinovka. husbox in the Batchat 25t. Now, if you thought that was a tight finish, wait till you see this one. This is husbox again in the Object 140, the Tier 10 Russian medium tank. Now, this was my first Tier 10 medium tank, I reckon. Maybe or maybe not. This time he's on Fisherman's Bay. He's in the Object 140. He's platooned up with his old mate, the Omoro clan from Life, in the T100 Light Tank. Now that's going to look, by the time this video goes up, I'll have one of those beautiful Russian T100 light tanks in my garage, and I reckon I'm pretty excited about it. Looks like this time he might be playing on the Asian server. It looked like it was the Australian server last time, at least that's what somebody indicated in chat. Now, husbox absolutely loves his Object 140. Even when I was in a clan with him, he had it, and he reckoned it was absolutely fantastic, which it is. He can bounce 1-2-1s from it, no worries whatsoever. Pulls back to try and make himself unspotted. You can see the enemy team having a bit of a push down the 1-2 line. Just 3 or 4 tanks here. The T62A, Centurion Action X, the E50M, and the E3 trying to get his gun into the game on the western flank of Fisherman's Bay. It's an all Tier 10 game, and husbox trying to get in to help his teammates. He knows if the enemy team push and win this and take all those tanks out, they're going to be down by 4 or 5 tanks, and it's going to be pretty hard to turn it around from there. husbox moving around here, trying to get some cheeky shots into these enemy tanks. He's got APCR loaded, puts a shot into the WZ115A. That's a new Chinese heavy tank. Bounces a shot from the Leopard, so he's still on full health. They did lose 2 tanks in that skirmish, and husbox not silly enough to try and take on those 5 tanks all by himself. Wants to wait for some help. The E3, I reckon he might be in trouble if they get behind him, but it looks like the Sheridan is running away, and husbox looking for a shot on the American Tier 10 light tank, the one with a derp cannon, as they're down by 2 zip at this stage. Looking at the mini-map, lots of enemy tanks here. Not many here, but lots of friendly tanks there, so you'd think that eastern side, are they going to push into them? Because they do have support from the middle. Let's see what happens as husbox looks towards that E3. No idea where that shot went, but he's just warming up here, looking over there towards the west. There's 5 enemy tanks here. There's 3 or 4 in the middle, and there's probably another 4 or 5 in the east. Looks like the Mouse, the Super Conqueror, the IS-4, the T57 Heavy, the Death Star, and the Jag are all pushing into here. No, it looks like the Jag might actually be coming back. Looks like they're going to try and take advantage of their number advantage on the east. And husbox decides to go and play in the middle. Object... Ooh, lucky that one didn't hit. Just didn't quite aim that one. See the Object 260 down there, as well as the E50M. Really not committing to that fight in the west. They're probably... Who knows what they're thinking. Who knows at all. 1-3's the score. 2 tanks have gone down. The Object 430 just got killed. Sorry, 3 tanks have gone down. The Centurion Action X, he got set on fire and killed at the start. The Object 430 just went down. The Omoro clan, husbox's mate from Life Clan in the T100 light tanks, just picked up a kill. And it looks like that push in the east is going quite well, with a couple of tanks being taken out over there. Quick mouthful of coffee. T100 Light just copped a bit of a hit. The FV215B 183 picks up the kill on the Super Conqueror. Now, not long after this video goes out, that FV215B 183 will turn into a special tank, and the new FV will be in the garage if you've already got it. Now, he doesn't want to miss his shot. Picks up the kill on the E50M. That's a German, heavily armoured medium tank. Another shot into the Object 140. And this is what Object 140s do well. Just keep that gun firing, and you'll keep chipping away. Bounces the enemy Object 140. Clearly didn't aim too well and got husbox in the turret. It's a pretty well angled turret. Not as, they say it's not as bouncy as the T62 Ape, but sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Did I just see a T110E3 heading directly for husbox, straight down the middle? It looks like he might have just fired. And switch to heat rounds to try and chip away at that tank. There you go. Picks up his second kill. 7-3 the score now. All of a sudden not looking too bad. The Object 260 as well as, what is it, the E50M down there in the southwest, doing a pretty good job holding these tanks off. It's just down to the Sheridan and the IS-7. They look like they're having a good old battle down there. Husbox in the middle, trying to chip away at these tanks. He's got another premium round loaded. Hasn't got many premium rounds loaded, just one left. I think he started with 2 or 3. And of course, one heat round, just in case he needs it. Auto aims and hits the 121. Now he's back to APCR rounds, because that's all he's got. Blind fires towards where that 121 was last seen. Looking again towards the Object 140, who's in a reasonably good hold down position, but I think he's going to get pushed on by that IS-4. Takes a dip at the Jagdpanzer E100. Plenty of hit points up for grabs in that heavily armoured German tank destroyer. No idea where that shot went. WZ115A, I reckon once they get rid of that Chinese heavy tank, there'll be nothing left to spot husbox in the middle. I doubt that Object 140 will be able to see him where he is. Super Conqueror picks up the kill on the Object 140. The T57 Heavy goes down to that Jag who's sniping up at B2, and all that's left now, with the score at 11-11, it's 4 versus 4. They clearly didn't do too well in that fight there, the Object 260 as well as the E50M. The Object 260 looks like he cleaned up 2 of them, but they got rolled by the IS-7 and the Sheridan. Probably got flanked by the American Derp tank, and you know, a big high explosive shell right up the rear passage certainly wouldn't have felt too good. husbox with his platoon mate in the T100 Light Tank, trying to get vision on that IS-7 and the Sheridan. It looks like the Russian Light has done that. The auto aims on the Sheridan, shoots and misses, cops a shell from the IS-7. Looks like he's going to try his luck out in the open. Let's see how he goes. Sheridan shoots him for 393, so maybe that was an APCR round from the Sheridan. I thought the Sheridan had the big derp gun. I'm sure somebody will let me know. I think it might be 2 options for the Tier 10 American Light Tank. Sheridan and the IS-7 versus husbox in his Object 140 on 1 kill. The Amoro clan from Life Clan in the T100 Light Tank, he's on a kill as well. It's going down to the wire on Fisherman's Bay. The score's 11-12, 1970 damage done, 1460 assisted damage, but he's just getting warmed up, and he's probably going to have to double that amount if he's going to turn this one into a win. With the score at 11-12, the Jagdpanzer E100 slowly trying to get back to the game. And of course the Jagdpanzer E100, not known for its speed, he's going back there to try and get some cover behind the rocks and the trees back at spawn, and hopefully that Jag can help husbox get rid of this IS-7. That shot's not going to do it, but he's got to do it pretty quickly as he aims towards the IS-7, gets him for 316. Just waiting for opportunistic shots. Pulls back, goes for another hit there. Did he get it? He got set on fire there, the poor bloke. Puts another shell into the IS-7. Takes him down to a 1-shot, down to 246 hit points. And the Jagdpanzer E100 does his job. Evens the scoreboard up again. 2 kills to husbox, 2,962 hit points of damage, 1460 damage blocked. A little bit of assisted. Unfortunately, the Amoro clan goes down in his T100 Light Tank to the Sheridan. And that Sheridan, what's he on? 513 hit points. husbox only on 146. What's he going to do here? This is going to come right down to the wire, I think. The Jag does the job, having no problems penetrating that lightly armoured American light tank. 13 all the score, 2 versus 2. Husbox in the Object 140 and the Jagdpanzer E100. What kind of health the Jag on? 798. Look, if I was on the enemy team, I'd be quite confident in picking up the win here. Looks like the 121 is going to continue to keep that Jagdpanzer E100 lit, and that might be the Jagdpanzer E100 might be in a bit of trouble, not from the 121 but from the enemy Jagdpanzer. That's probably, I reckon that's what Husbox is thinking. Husbox probably thinking here, this Jag here will be aiming towards the 121, trying to keep him at bay, and the Jag could probably reasonably comfortably bounce a few shots from the Chinese medium tank, but in doing so he'll be exposing the rear of his tank to this Jagdpanzer E100 who was last spotted up here where Husbox is. And look, oh, there it is. There's the Jag on 1857 hit points. Oh, what's going to happen here? This is going to be... Oh, that was... I can see what Husbox was thinking there, trying to get up here and distract the Jagdpanzer and try to get him in a bad position. Looks like both tanks shot the Jagdpanzer E100 on Husbox's spawn, and of course I don't think Husbox is... I doubt he's spotted now. Just farmed a bit of damage there. 1,300 odd hit points of damage into the Jagdpanzer E100, bringing his total damage up to 4,291. He's only on 146 hit points though, so either one of these enemy tanks could kill him with one shot. There's 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. What's Husbox going to do to turn this game around? They're down by a tank. Husbox on 146 health. He's already done 4,291. He's blocked nearly 1,500. A little bit of assisted damage. There's 2 enemy tanks left. He's quicker than both of them, so he can run away. But I'm not sure what he's thinking about doing. Maybe he's thinking about coming around here and getting a different angle on the 121 of the Jag. At 121 or the Jag are doing the right thing. There's no... You've got to force Husbox to come back into this game here. There's no two ways about it. Obviously the Jag is never going to catch the Object 140, and I don't think the 121 is quite as fast as the Russian T10 medium tank. So they're both on the cap now. Husbox from PAW Clan. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in this game. Looking to get vision on that cap circle. I don't know. Is he going to do it from here? There's only 20 seconds until they cap this. That 20 seconds will turn into 10 pretty quickly. Continuing to move forward, he's going to have to do something. I hope this isn't... I hope they don't cap this one out. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Come on, Husbox. Jeez, I know what I'd be saying if I was the platoon mate. It went down to 0, but he just hit that Jagdpanzer E100. Just in time. Will this go through? It will. That gets rid of the big German tank destroyer. Of course, that 121 is still on the cap, and I reckon he is certainly on more than 146 hit points. Husbox moving up now. Clearly, the 121's got a pretty decent crew in there, making it very hard for Husbox to see him. He's caught the 121 napping there. He resets the cap, pulls back. He does get spotted. Pulls back. He's got to be careful here. Probably 3 more shots. 3 more shots, and he should. Husbox should have this one covered. Knocks a couple of trees down just to try and bait a shot. Now we just saw that 121 shoot towards Husbox. Husbox puts another shot in, resets the cap again, goes back to 1.5 minutes. Husbox doing quite well here, keeping this rock between him and the Chinese medium tank. Now, of course, he's a one-shot for the 121. He's only on 146 hit points. He'd be a one-shot for a tier 8 tank. Looks like the 121 is running away. Bit of a bug in the replay. You can still hear that siren going. I certainly can. Husbox is still going to have to shoot this guy twice. And the 121 fires. They're a one-shot for each other. He'll be hoping for a lucky bounce here. He doesn't need it. What was the 121 thinking? He's well and truly carried that one on Fisherman's Bay. Husbox in the Object 140. Let's have a look at the battle result. It's another Ace Tanker Mastery Badge from the old mate Husbox from PAW Clan. Also a Bruiser Medal fighter. 5 for effect. Defender Medal for getting the reset when it was... I reckon it clicked over to 0 as he shot that Jag. 4 kills, 6,013 damage. It's an ace tanker in the Object 140. 536 shots, 24 hit, 20 went through, 1460 damage blocked, a little bit of assisted damage. An ace tanker cost him 26,000 credits. I'm not sure why. Didn't fire that much premium ammunition. I think it was only 2 or 3 shots. And I don't know, maybe because there were 16 shots fired that didn't do damage, maybe that's why. There were a few blind shots and a few shots that weren't quite aimed correctly at the start, but in the end, a pretty good carry from the old mate husbox from POW clan in the Object 140. And as we move on to the third and final replay in today's video, this is the old mate Thadeous. This won't go for quite as long as husbox's games. This is another tank which I've been grinding lately, and by the time this goes up, I'll have one of those T100 lights in my garage. I'm pretty excited about that. Thadeous from 1AR clan in the T54 lightweight, APCR rounds all the way, which is standard ammunition is in this 100mm gun, 250 damage, 208 penetration, 235 with the premium APCR rounds. As he runs straight down, he's not slowing down here, he's going straight down the 1-2 line in mines. He's after some spotting damage. He's on a mission to do some damage to an artillery piece, but it looks like he's not going to get that mission in this one because there's no artillery. 1 zips the score. The RU-251's already been taken down. He has spotted a few tanks already, but this is a very interesting ploy to get down here as fast as you can. In the T54 lightweight, got some assisted damage onto the M4A1 Revelarici. That's the Tier 8 premium French medium tank. Looking towards the T10, and this is the beauty of the T54 lightweight. The gun it's got a good rate of fire, good, very quick reload. He's put some damage into the T10. Not sure, some of those other shots, we're not sure if they went through or not because they were tanks were sort of unspotted or just out of vision, right? I think they were unspotted. Not having the best of luck, but he is picking up assisted damage as he's shooting towards these enemy tanks. Looking at the Panther there, takes him for another 250 hit points. Got some damage from the Panther. Now the good thing about this T54 lightweight, even though it's a light, you can, if you get into a position where this turret is the only thing showing on a ridgeline like this, you can bounce a lot of shots. You know, I've had plenty of games doing this grind where I've bounced a decent amount of damage, and it's look, you wouldn't want to rely on it, you wouldn't want to play it like a heavy, but it is a pretty good feeling when you bounce something which might be considered a very big gun, such as, like, say, the British FV215V183. I've done that once before, I think. But guns like that, the big dirt comes. Puts another shot into the low. He's just loving this. Look at the gun. He's clearly got a good crew in it. Gun, pretty accurate for a Russian tank when you think about it. Look how small that circle is. Bearing in mind that low is right on the edge of his view range, so it's not a close encounter by any stretch of the imagination. 1268 damage done that we know about. He's looking towards the T10 now, chipping away at the Tier 9 Russian heavy tank. Takes him down to 868. He's trying to keep him tracked. I don't think he's tracked anymore. I think he's just sitting there, not really quite sure what to do, as Thadeous keeps chipping away at this T10. One more should be enough for the kill. It is. That's his first kill of the game. The score's 6-2. The enemy tanks are dropping like flies. Thadeous on 2,171 hit points of damage, 1,070 assisted damage, and now he's going to go. He's pinging the map. He's hoping his teammates follow. The Scorpion G and the Centurion 7-1, both getting, both following nice and closely. The T28 prototype they want to get rid of, even at Tier 8. There you go, the Scorpion G does the job, doesn't give the T28 prototype a chance to shoot. That is just checking to see if that Jag Panzer is aiming his way. It looks like he's behind something. That sounds like one of those big guns just fired. I'm not sure if it was the Jag or the T95 on the enemy team. 7-2's the score. Thadeous on 2171 damage that we know of. He finds the Stritzwagen S1, shoots him. I reckon he tracked him as well, but that Stritzwagen clearly aiming Thadeous's way. Down to 482 now, and that Stritzwagen clearly taking some evasive action. It looks like Thadeous might have tracked him there, so is he gonna flank him? Oh, I'd be a little bit nervous taking that angle, especially with the T95 there. But it looks like that Stritzwagen doesn't quite know where to aim. Shoots him and tracks him again. Now might be a good time to try and flank that Stutzwagen. And he doesn't need to, because in the end the TVP picks up the kill. 11-3 the score now on Mines. Thadeous on an absolute mission there. Look towards the E4. Unlucky not to penetrate that shell. He's only got 7 shells left. He's got 8 high explosive rounds, but I don't think he's going to want to try and use too many of those. He does get spotted. Looks like the T32 is aiming his way, so he takes another shot into the tier 8 American heavy tank, but I'm not sure if that last one went through. 2,689 damage, nearly 2,000 assisted damage. He'll be pretty proud of himself. That's what I mean about blocking shots. And now it just leaves the T95 Thadeous on 291 hit points. Clearly the T95 is aiming Thadeous' way. He doesn't want him to. Hoped for a tracking shot there, didn't quite get it, but he did pick up another 261 hit points of damage. And the T95 does not know where to aim. He's only got 2 APCR rounds left. I reckon he might have just fired. Thadeous doing the right thing. Knows he can't penetrate the T95 frontally without a little bit of luck. But he does track him and picks up 1,139 assisted damage by doing that. And not a bad result on Mines at all, as we have a quick look at the result. And you can see it says in the thingo 800 experience and only a first class, 1800 I should say, but it's not really an 8. It's the base score is 1200, which is probably the minimum you would generally get for an ace tanker. But he's got a first class. He also got a bruiser medal and a fire for effect in that quick game on Mines. 3,197 damage in the end, so some of those blind shots clearly went through. The only player who did more damage was the tier 10 auto-loading Czech medium tank, the TVP T5051. 531 shots, 23 hit, 13 went through. Look, I reckon if 3 more shots went through, might have been an ace. Maybe. You never know. It's very hard to tell with a tank which is so popular like the T54 lightweight. 35 and a bit thousand credits in that 5-minute game. After tax, that's with a premium account. Not too bad at all. There you have it. husbox in the Object 140 and the Batchat acing it by spotting, which is exactly what I did. You can't rely on me to do damage. Man, I'm only going to get these aces by spotting. That's exactly right. And Thadeous in the T54 Light Tank. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and see you all next time.